Hello and welcome to the video that is Sherlock and Anagram. So this is third video in the dictionary and hash map, and we'll solve this particular problem using a problem definition, a naive approach, after that optimized approach, and I'll explain you the code along with it. So this could be a long video because so many things are involved in this. So basically, let's start with the problem definition. So problem states that we have two strings are anagrams. So they have started with the definition of anagram, and after that they have asked us to find how many number of anagrams can be generated or will be found in the particular string. So if you say in the output, let's say output format, for each query return the number of unordered anagrammatic pairs. So you have to return how many anagrams are possible. So in order to solve this particular problem, you need to know the two basic things. So first is anagram and second is substring. So substring is something that can be as little as simple character or as long as whole length of the string. So substring is like, and anagram is something that by the same combination of letters you can create a different word. So let's take an example. We can take one example, let's say funeral. So funeral is a word, and anagram for funeral could be real fun. So you can see that, let's say take R here, E here, A, L and FUN. So this is the, though this is a funny anagram. So anagram is something that by a set of similar letters you can create different words. So that is the anagram, or you could read this particular definition. And for this particular problem, we have to return how many anagrammatic pairs we can create for that particular string. So as of now, I have two approaches to solve this particular problem. I'll discuss with you for this. So let's take look at the constraint first. So q is queries, so that they are less than 10, and string is less than or equal to 100. So that is fine. So let's start with the first example, ABBA Abba. So this is the example, ABBA Abba, who plays harmonium. And we need to find substring first in order to check if they are anagrams of each other or not. So let's start with A. So for A, substring could be A. After that, this could be another substring. So A, B. After that, this could be another substring. So let's take that, A, B, C, and the whole, not C. Let me clear that. So this is A, B, B, and the last substring could be the whole string. So we can think this as A, B, and the size is going is in the increasing order. I apologize for that. So for B, the number of substring could be, let's say B, the character B. After that, you could get B, B, and again B, B, A. Similarly, for this B, there would be one B, then B, A, and for last A, there would be simply A. So if you see, there is a triangle formation. So there is a triangle, and this particular triangle can help us find number of substring. So we have a formula for number of substring. So that is n into n plus 1, sorry, n minus 1 by 2. So this is a common formula. We can remember this. So if we let's say any question gives us number of length of a string and ask us to find how many substring are present, we can simply use this particular formula and can get away with the problem. So this is the case. Okay, and now let's check, as these are the number of substrings. Let's check how many anagrams could be found. So for let's go by this way, because in order to be anagrams, the number of characters need to be same. So this is of length 1, so this is after length 2, this particular line represents length 3, and so on. So for A, I get another pair, so that is 1A. So this could be 1, For this B, I have another B, so that makes a pair as well. So the number of pairs for characters which are singular would be 2. So let's check for this. So let's say check AB is anagram of anything or not. So AB is anagram of BA here and here, same characters. So this will be this will make another pair. So let's check if ABB makes pair with the another same length substring. So this BBA, so that also makes another pair, and ABBA is a singular. So there is nothing to compare with. So that this will particularly return value 0. So number of pairs in this particular question were 2 plus 1 plus 1, that is 4. So we have 4 pairs or 4 substrings which are anagram of each other. Okay, so there are total 8 and we compare like we took pairs. So there are 4 pairs which can form anagram of each other. Sorry for the repeating. After this I'll take another example and after that we'll start coding. Okay, so I think said something wrong earlier. So this particular formula will give us number of distinct pairs, and for total number of substring you can simply use summation formula, that is n into n plus 1 by 2. So this will give total number of strings. Okay, my pet is going crazy right now, and this will give number of distinct pairs. So okay, this is the case, and let's take another example. Okay, this is the problem. So if you check, we have string that is ABCD, and we'll find number of pairs for this like number of strings. So this would be again, let's say I write if I ABCD, and there are no repeating characters. So the possibility having pairs or anagrams is no, but I'll write down all the substrings so that we can understand this better. And for length 4 it will be ABCD as a whole. However, let's do the math again. So if we compare for element 1 or for length 1, there is no repeating character or there is no pair found. Similarly, for this value or for length 2 substring, there is no pair available. Similarly for this and similarly for this again. So there is no pair in this particular substring. So we'll return value 0. Okay. So what we can do is, let's say, because our string is less than of 100 character, and we can create an array of 26 characters, and we'll map frequency first. And if the frequency is distinct, and if any character is not let's say greater than 1, and if all the characters are in the 0 or 1th term, so there is a high possibility, or you can securely say that there won't be any substring. So if all the characters are distinct, there won't be any pair. So you can take this case for 0 substring value. So you would only need a for loop, and this can be done in O of n time. So you don't have to do computation like what we are going to do, the map and all dictionary thing, for the case where all the given characters are distinct. So we can do this in order to avoid the further so what I'm saying, sorry, further computation. And that is the case, and let's start with another example. So let me clear this quickly. Okay, this is the given string in the problem, in the explanation. So we'll again start with character C. So let's go for lengths first length. So it will be C, B, C and D. For length 2, this would be this and this. So C, D, here it will be D, C, and last one is CD again. Okay, after that for third length 3, it will be CDC, and it will be DCD. Okay, and last one would be CD. Okay, let's calculate the number of anagrammatic pair we can find here. So for this C, we have pair here. For this D, we have pair here. So number of pairs would be 2. For this CD, we can either pair with this particular DC, or we can choose to pair with CD as well. So this is the same thing. So I can add another 2 pairs, and CDC and DCD. CDC and DCD won't make a pair. However, I miss this pair, so I can pair this one with this one, and there would be a remaining pair, this one. This will be 3, this will be 0 and 0. So number of pairs will be 5. So I think you like we are at that point where we have understood the basic substring and anagrams and how to find it pictorially. So that is the case, and we'll learn how to code for this. So what we can do is, let me clear all this. Okay, I have redrawn the whole substrings here, so I can get some space. So now you can see that we are getting strings. What we can do is, let's create a map, and let me create map in this corner. So let's call this a map. So what we can do is, we can store the distinct values here. So let's take we come across C, so we'll store C here for that character and value. So this will be a key value pair. After that we encounter D, so D will again store 1. uh, Again we come at C, so let's increment C again, so this will be 2. Similarly for D, value would be increased. After that we come at the position CD. So at CD, let's create a key value pair and initialize CD first, so this will be 1. And then there is a DC, and we know that this is the same, like CD reverse is DC. And what we want to do is, we want to store this value into CD only, because I discussed the formula earlier. So how many number of distinct substring can be produced is n into n minus 1 by 2. So we can use this particular formula. So in order to use this formula, we need to know how many pairs of string is present. So what we can do is, we can sort this particular CD. So this will be CD, and we'll store this in the map. So the frequency would be increased for CD. Again CD is present, so CD will become 3. So for CDC, we'll sort this. So we are sorting general terms in order to get the same what we can say string. So it will be CCD, and this is CDD. So by after sorting, it will become CDD. So this is a lexicographical sorting, you can say, and this will be again 1. So as we have seen the formula earlier, for CD it would be 1. Okay, so we know the formula, we know the number of times the character or substring is repeated. So what you can do is, basically for 2, we can take 2, 2 minus 1, that is 1, divided by 2. So this will return me value as 1. Okay, so let me take different color. Okay, so for C, I'll get 1 pair. Similarly for D, I will get another pair 1, because value is same. And where CD is 3, so this will become 3. 3 minus 1, that is 2, and divided by 2. So this will cancel this out, and number of pairs we'll get is 3. So 3 for CD, and the values which are 1, we don't want to calculate for them, because the numerator will be 0, because we have n minus 1. So we can categorically ignore these values. Or if you can calculate, there is no issue as such. So number of pairs we got is 5, and the number of distinct pairs which forms anagram is also 5 for this case. So this could be one way of solving this problem. However, there is one extra overhead, that is sorting, and so this doesn't look a big issue here, but even if you take the sorting in the terms of n log n, so in this solution we know that there is an extra overhead of sorting, so that could be in log n times, and that will increase the number of time complexity. So we can we can completely ignore sorting part and can reinvent the problem, or let's reinvent the wheel for this particular problem, and we'll check how to avoid sorting. So what we can do is, so we'll take help from our friend, that is maths. So any number, let's say we can multiply those number, and we need that the multiplied value to be distinct. So how we can do is multiplication of prime numbers. The multiplication of prime numbers will never be the same for different numbers. So if you say, let's say 2 into 3 is 6, you won't get the value 6 for any different permutation or the combination of different prime numbers. So you can't get 6 value again. You can do 5 into 2, it will give you 10. However, by any other prime numbers you won't get this value. So what this can do for our problem is, we can create an array, or we can create a function, and we'll assign the values, the starting 26 values to our character. Let's say A with 2, B with 3, and let me complete this, C with 5. Then so this will iterate this particular prime numbers to the value, that is z, and we'll take the prime values like first 27 prime values. So how will this particular solution will solve problem of time complexity? So what we can do is, while we were doing sorting for DC, what we can do is, we'll simply store the values of prime numbers. So here there won't be a C. So let me clear this. Let me create another map. So for C, that is value 5, there will be a pair. So in this case, this will look like 5 will be 1, and D value is 7. So for 7, the key value pair would be of int now. So after that we encounter C again, encounter D again. So these values are increased, and for CD, what we'll do is, the number of characters will multiply them. So CD, this will become 35. So for 35, will increment our frequency by 1. Again DC, so 7 into 5, 37, will increment it to 2. And the last CD, again 35, will increment here as well. So this is the way in which we can avoid sorting and create a, what we can say, key value pair. And we can initialize first 26 values like hard coded, or you can create a simple function like get prime numbers, create an array of 26 characters and size, and use a simple, let's say, prime function. You can create a function for prime numbers to get prime numbers. So that would be in the n time, and you don't have to sort this. So that is a big positive in this case. So let me code this. I know this is a bit long video and there could be a complications. So I'll write the code and I'll explain whenever there is a doubt or I feel someone might get stuck there. So watch the code. So I have basic skeleton ready for the programming, and if you have watched the video till now, you are awesome, and I know many of won't come to this part. Welcome to the code part. First I thought writing down the program, but it will generally take 20 minutes, and I think I am already down by 25, so that will make a long video. So I'll just explain the code. I'll walk you through the code. And so let's start. First we take test cases and string. So we'll input test cases, number of test cases. After that I created an array for prime numbers. So what you can do is, if you have internet connectivity, you can copy first 26 prime numbers from the internet And if you don't have any internet environment or like appearing for any exam, so you can basically write a function that is a get prime number. You can create an array of size 26, and in prime function, so this is a basically a prime getting a first n prime number program, you could say. So we won't be returning anything, we just initializing value into the prime array which is created in heap. So I have taken three variables, and we'll start from 2 because all prime numbers start with 2 to the maximum number which we know. It can be int max as well because we are breaking out of whenever we get the 26 prime numbers. After that, for j, it will start loop with the 2 which is less than that of I. So if I for any value of j that completely divides I, this will be 0 and that won't be a prime number. So we'll break out of loop, and this will go on until and unless I is equal to j. So in that case there will be a prime number, and we will initialize that prime number to like first prime number will be the first in the array. So we'll again, whenever we encounter second prime number, we'll initialize that particular value to the second index. So like one first index, but in one based indexing it would be second. So we'll increment count here just to get the complete array. So whenever we get count equal to 26, we'll break out of the loop. So this is a basic program you could find anywhere on internet. So this will basically give us the first 26 prime numbers. So that is another key value pair, if you could say, for every character the distinct prime number, or you can hard code it, it's your choice. After that we'll take input for string, then we'll take another character. So these values are like the comments are which I have tested. So range, this is for checking for different string length. So we will be creating multiple substrings which I showed you earlier, and for that reason we'll take range. Key is a key, so I'll explain whenever that term will show up. Result is where we are storing the number of anagrams. Sorry. Length is of string length. So after that we have created two like one map and one iterator for it. So we'll create unordered map because it's very efficient than the what we could say basic map. And after that, okay, let's see this loop and how this works. So I have taken the previous example here. So we'll iterate from I is equal to 1 to its length, and in j we'll iterate from 0 to length minus I. So what will this give us is the particular length. So that could be the range. So 1, 0, and so on. So after that we'll calculate range, that is I plus j minus 1. Key would be initially 1, and after that we'll take another loop. Let's say k int k is equal to j. K is less than that of range. So I'll show you the iteration here just in a minute. And after that we'll take the value. So this particular statement will give us the ASCII value of that particular character, and we'll check for that value, for this particular character, what is our value in our prime array. So we'll multiply by that key, and this is 10 power 7 mod. So we do this whenever we have a large number. So this is not necessary, but if there are like bigger test cases, you can always use this. And after that whatever key we are getting from this loop, this whole loop, we are storing into the map and we are incrementing it to by 1. So let's see how this works, and after that we'll move forward. Let me clear this up. So okay, now I is our, so for first I is equal to 1 and then j is equal to 0. As of now length for CD is 4, so j will be less than that of 3. First range will be I is 1, now j is 0, so range will be a 0, and in our case loop k will be 0 and k is less than that of range. So range as of now is again 0. So this like valid for one loop only. So ch is the, we need character in our ASCII form. So string k, so as of now k is 0, so value would be C. Let me take different color, black would work. So this will be C, and for C we'll check what is the value in our prime array. So value for prime would be 2, 5 and 2, 3, 5. So C would have value 5 in our prime array. So what we'll do is we'll mod it by 10 mod 7. So we'll mod it, so we'll get key, and we'll then after that we'll initialize this particular value into our map. So map will be, as of now, will be something like 5 is present at one number of time. After that j would be incremented to 1. So length would be less than that of 3, so this is valid. So range will be I is 1, j is 1 minus 1, so range will be 1. After that, in this particular value k will be j, so this is will be again valid for one term. So what this loop as of now is doing is taking all the singular values. So this will initialize all the singular values to its map. So this will be 2 and 2. After that, whenever our j loop ends, when all the three values are taken, that are these three values, after that what will happen is we'll increment I, so our range will become 1, so that will become 2, and for j value start with 0, so our minimum value would be 2. So this particular value for I is equal to 2 would be checking for length 2 values, and in this particular loop, because we have initialized key here and we are checking values until like whole string is complete, so this makes it multiply all the key values. So if there is a CD present, so what we'll do is it will multiply those values. First it will be initialize key value by C, and when k will move ahead and it will get D, and we'll again multiply this value because key would be C value, and it would be multiplied by D, and it will be a 35 and value pair. I know it's bit confusing at first, but I would request anyone seeing this video to go through the code once again. I'll post this code or have a link in the description so you can check it. And once we get all the key value pair here, after this we can simply do is we'll check the values if they are present more than one number of times. So we can simply do is we iterate through our map to the end, and we initialize a value that is it as second. So this gives us a value sorry. So if we check if that particular value occurred like 2 or more times, so that means the similar pair like any two prime number members multiplied will be distinct unless until we multiply by the same prime number. So if we get any combination of that particular value, so that would make it greater than 2, and we'll check how many these particular values are present, and if there is a value present, we know that how to calculate distinct number of pairs. So this is the formula, we'll basically use it here, and by using it we'll calculate the result and we'll print out the result. So this is the whole what I can say solution for this. I know it's bit confusing and what you could say lengthier than usual problems, but this could be a like stepping stone, and you will learn so much after doing this particular problem. Let's check if it works for all the test cases. So this should work, and if you are someone who is solving all the problems in HackerRank interview preparation kit playlist, do check my other videos, and if you feel there was any need of improvement on my part or any issue which you didn't understand or I was not able to convince you or like make it simple enough, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.